Francisco, and we're very glad to have him here. He's a proud graduate, Ms. Strauss, of the University of Florida, where he earned his BA in economics and political science with a minor in leadership. While at UF, he was president of the McNair Ambassadors and Scholar Program. In addition, he has too many internships to list here, but he was previously with the Information Technology Council, where he was a communications manager, and before he moved on to a senior level position there. Finally, he also maintains a political campaigning certificate. And what I know about Jose is that his true interests are politics, and that he is truly interested in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. And I know he's hoping to be back there as soon as possible. And I'm sure that we're going to hear a great deal about Jose in the future, and he's one to make Northport High School proud. Everybody, Jose Castaneda.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to just welcome first Assistant Principal Ryan Shirley, faculty, family, and friends, and most importantly, tonight's inductees. It's exciting to speak with you tonight, an evening where we get to celebrate your success and your hard work and your performance. I'm happy to be back on this campus because it reminds me of the memories I made and I cared about before performance reviews, bonuses, or promotions. I'm happy here because I remember sitting at lunch and talking about the football team, complaining about AP exams, mostly Mr. David's, and just enjoying the people around me. So you've started to embark on some of the most exciting and challenging years of your life. In preparing for this speech, I debated how I could best prepare you for those next chapters and what I, as an 18 or 19-year-old, would want to hear. But remember, when I was that age, things like Snapchat, Instagram, they were just apps or ideas in some tech nerd's imagination. To illustrate how far we've come, during my senior year, I was writing Miss Fitch an intense paper on why she should allow cell phones to be used in class while we were reading the Canterbury Tales. Now, cell phones are as common as the air we breathe. I still grapple with the fact that it's been 8 years since I sat in your place, scrambling through the halls of Northport High School. I was unsure what I was going to do the next few years, or where they would take me. Since then, a lot has happened. Some of it went as planned, most of it didn't. Rest assured, though, the next years of your life will be some of the most fulfilling. When I was sitting in your chair, I looked forward to those next years. I always told myself that tomorrow will be better. See, I'm an immigrant from Guatemala, raised by a single mother who never made more than $35,000 a year, and I was on free and reduced lunch. I remember the hardships of not knowing where exactly we would get dinner, the fear of wondering how I would pay for college applications, and if I could afford prom and homecoming. I think I can safely say I was like a typical student in Northport High School. So while my day-to-day realities were challenging and trying, I always told myself that the next day will be better. College will be like the movies, and my dreams of living in Washington, D.C. will come true. I was lucky that I always had some sort of idea on what I wanted to do next and what I wanted to accomplish. I knew I wanted to be in politics. It drove me. To me, if done right, politics can create the most change, the most good, and the biggest impact. And with that as my guiding light, I embarked on life after Northport High. My years after graduation took me to the University of Florida, where I majored in political science and economics. I was the first in my family to attend college in the States. This is the first in my family to earn a degree. I'm sure that rings true for some of you as well. Know that that is a badge of honor, and keep your head up high with pride as you carry your family's name over the finish line. Own that part of yourself as you surround yourself with people that had a little easier time to get there. After 4 memorable years at UF, I moved to Washington, D.C., the city to this day that still has a piece of my heart. Living there for nearly 4 years, working at the highest levels of politics and technology policy. I always felt excitement before meetings with congressional staff, folks at the White House, and chatting with reporters about stories that would impact the tech industry. In those 4 years, I helped make news by working with folks at the White House to roll out an artificial intelligence plan, met with congressional offices to understand what legislation my employer would and could endorse, and prepared senior executives for things like TV interviews and interviews with newspapers. My time in DC was exciting and taught me both a lot professionally and personally. It also provided me with a stepping stone to uproot my life and move to San Francisco to take a job with Google, the company of my dreams, working at the intersection of politics, policy, and business. Despite the persistent fog, harsh wind, and astronomical cost of living, San Francisco is a little treasure. But while professional success provides a certain level of happiness, success in your personal life and the time spent with the people you care about when the emails stop coming in, the phone stops ringing, and the world slows down matters far more. In other words, it's important to work hard, but don't let life pass you by in the meantime. This realization came to me only after 25 years of life. My life was my work. I didn't make time to explore other aspects of myself, which left me afraid of being vulnerable. That all changed after a health scare in the fall of 2017. I suffered from a twitching issue in my legs, arms, and eyes. It left me unable to sleep for nights on end, and frankly, it scared me to death. I remember sitting in a robe in a neurologist's office as the doctor shocked me, prodded me, and poked me to measure my nerves. Luckily, the test came back normal, and my symptoms have since subsided. Yet during those nights where I laid awake in fear that I was one diagnosis away from my life changing completely, I realized my priorities were just out of whack. Instead of caring so much about the endless work, the steady stream of emails, and mountains of documents to read, I needed to invest more in my friends and my loved ones. I'm proud of my career, of making it to Google. I know there's also a lot more for me to accomplish. But I'm more proud of the relationship I created with my best friend in 9th grade, who to this day is still my best friend. We just celebrated our 10-year friendship anniversary in San Francisco last week, actually. Jordan's friendship has been an enduring part of my life. I love thinking about the days when we would speed down Price, after school, blaring 303, eating, a public sub, as we would, try to get to the beach and hang out with some friends. I remember those moments far more than any work activity. And in short, what I learned last year was how to live. I'm not saying I do it perfectly, but it's something I now consciously think about, and I urge you to do it as well. Live fully in the moment. Push yourself to step away from your work and make time for your loved ones, your friends, your partners. Those are the moments that you'll reflect on with great fondness. And as you reflect on your time here at Northport High, I hope you cherish the beautiful memories and moments that only high school can offer. The times when you and your friends first drove to the beach with the windows down, music blaring, as you adventured to the hot sands of Siesta Key, or the first time you mustered enough courage to ask out your crush, or the amazing moment of reading a college acceptance letter from the school of your dreams. It's what I think about. See, I want you to remember these positive moments because rejection comes more easily and more frequently than success. Early on in my time in DC, I got my butt handed to me. I was completing an internship where I was competing for a job with 7 other interns. I didn't get that job. What I got instead was 2 months of being unemployed. I never worried more about my future. I laid awake at night thinking I wasn't cut out for the sleaziness of Washington or its cutthroat mentality. I sold my first car to afford rent and was scared out of my mind. If you haven't experienced this already, you will. Over the next few years, you'll hear, "No, you didn't get that A. Sorry to inform you that we went with a different candidate for this job. I don't think that you're the right fit at this time, but call us back in a few months." These are some of the no's I heard throughout college and in the professional world. Because of them, I question my capabilities. See, another reason I enjoy coming back to Northport is it's where I learned the important lessons of being gritty. A defining characteristic of those who want to accomplish something beyond themselves. A gritty person is persistent, unrelenting, and creative in finding ways to accomplishing their goals. Gritty is the student in class who isn't necessarily the smartest or answers every question Mr. Shoup asks first, but will not give up until he or she finds that the answer to that difficult question that Mr. Shoup asked. The gritty person knows that if they're willing to work hard and continue down the right path, good things will come. My mom was a gritty person. She brought us from Guatemala to Northport in a search of a better life, and it's her example I follow every day. Especially during the difficult moments of your life, grit will come in handy. Those times when you want to give up, those times when you want to doubt yourself, those times you wonder if you're cut out for the job of your dreams or the city of your dreams. Instead, learn to embrace rejection. Rejection suggests that you took a risk, that you put yourself out there, that you took a step towards your goal. We don't see people flaunt rejection. It's hidden under their successes we post on social media, the fleeting moments of perfection we scroll past on our news feeds. But most days don't look like Instagram posts, and life doesn't have filters that make you look cuter. And to be clear, this advice is something I remind myself every day. Sometimes I'd rather stay in bed and watch the world go by from my window. But it's the persistence to reach new heights and the desire to make meaningful contributions and connections that force me out of the house, and the fact that I still have to pay rent. I hope that you find that within yourselves. Embrace the difficulties coming your way and own the moments and opportunities that join them. No, it's okay to not always be the most insightful person in the room. So long as you keep reaching and pushing, success will come your way. I've applied for countless jobs at Google, and most of the times I heard nothing back from the company. However, those no's were just bumps in the road. I made a conscious decision to meet folks that work at Google, to learn about the culture of the company, about the issues it's facing. This persistence bred meetings, which bred interviews, which finally bred an offer. Indeed, this persistence is the reason I'm working at one of the world's largest companies. But to be frank, while working at Google is fun and exciting, it doesn't match the moments I spend with my friends and my loved ones. That level of happiness is second to none. So as you begin or you continue on this next phase of your life, I hope you remain persistent, learn to embrace rejection, and most importantly, don't lose focus on what matters most, devoting time to the people you care about. I know I'm still trying to do this. The world is yours, but it'll be much better if there are people with you along on this journey. I wish you nothing but success as you carve a special place. Thank you.